Well, we're tracking our winter storm that is bringing icing conditions to much of the state as we head through this morning. Luckily, along the coastline, we have switched over to mostly plain old rain, but we do continue to see icing in many spots towards down east Maine, seeing snow and sleet as well as that freezing rain as we've headed through this morning. Let's get a look at our current temperatures. Great way to see where we're still concerned about icing and where that threat has come to an end. Bar Harbor now above freezing, Rockland, Brunswick, Portland, all above the freezing mark now, so really bringing that icing threat to an end along the coastline. Notice away from the coast, though, Bangor, Waterville, Calais, Millinocket, Freiburg, all below freezing, so is Sanford. So we're holding on to those icy conditions, and the big concern today is that these icy conditions away from the coast, especially in western Maine, could stick around into the afternoon. So definitely use caution this morning. Very icy out there as we start off the day. Most transition to rain after the lunchtime hour, but there will be pockets, especially in western Maine, where we do stay icy into the afternoon. Rain showers will continue into the evening, wrapping up as we get into tonight. Winter weather advisories in place across the state. We do have winter storm warnings up in northern Maine, winter storm warnings off to the west in New Hampshire, as well as we'll reach ice storm criteria in New Hampshire and into portions of western Maine. So let's talk about ice potential here. Half-inch or more of ice is possible. Freiburg area heading west on Route 302 into New Hampshire. That's where the outage threat is the highest. A half an inch of ice on its own can cause outages. When we throw in the wind that we're going to see later today, it really ramps up that potential. Just got a report out of Porter. About a quarter inch of ice has fallen there. Could see upwards of a half inch of ice from the Lakes region through the Poland area up towards Livermore Falls along the Route 2 corridor as well. All included in that. That's also an area where we're watching for outages, but the highest threat of that is in this zone in western Maine and into New Hampshire, where we'll see potentially upwards of a half inch or more. Portland area, our icing is done. Augusta as well. Areas to the north and east like Bangor and into northern Maine could see up to a tenth to a quarter inch of ice, but most of us are not really going to see enough to cause power outages. So Bangor, we did see mostly snow this morning, a coating to an inch or two there into down east Maine. Northern Maine could get up to 2 to 4 inches, and really it could bump this up honestly to a 3 to 6 inch total up there, but for most it'll be in the 2 to 4 inch range. I do think that northern Maine, though, far northern Maine, the crown of the state, could see upwards of a half foot in at least some isolated spots. Let's talk timing. Again, along the coast, we've switched over to mostly rain, so the icing threat is done. Away from the coast, though, notice how these patches of pink do persist as we head through the morning and into the afternoon. Western Maine seeing some patches of ice as well as we head into the afternoon hours. And again, that's our zone that we've been highlighting for the highest threat of icing. As we head towards the evening, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock or so, the storm wraps up between 5 and 9 p.m. across the state. Cold air moves in as the winds kick up this evening, so any standing water will refreeze. Make sure your driveways, sidewalks are salted as we head into tonight. My big concern, though, for the power outages is the winds that kick up later today. It may be that the storm itself winding down, but the winds will kick up, and that will really lead to the increased risk of power outages. It remains windy all day on Tuesday, and it's going to be very cold as well on Tuesday. You can see our high temperatures going to be in the teens tomorrow away from the coastline, blustery, very frigid. Again, definitely want to get your driveways and sidewalks salted because there's not a day above freezing in our forecast. New Year's Eve, though, luckily looking quiet. Same with New Year's Day. Could be a little snow as we ring in the new year overnight Wednesday night, but largely it's pretty quiet and just very cold forecast through the latter part of this week. So Sharon and Katie, back over to you.